I mean, even though people think that a job is the safest thing to do, I think it is the most unsafe thing to do. I mean, finally, you are at the mercy of somebody else. I'm the founder and CEO of Sunburst Healthcare Private Limited. I'm a healthcare professional, uh, basically a qualified doctor. And, my journey actually started as a clinician in 1984 when I completed my medicine. And thereafter, I joined the Indian Army because my husband is an army officer. So I served in the Indian Army for 10 years as a officer and a clinician. And thereafter, the initial around 20 years were as a clinician in both army and civil. And thereafter, I somehow ventured into healthcare management. So I managed large hospitals. I did a post-graduation in healthcare management. And then I managed large hospitals like Ruby Hall Clinic in Pune, which is about 700 bedded. Another large hospital in Pune called Jahangir Hospital. I also managed a hospital which is a Japanese hospital in Bangalore. So this was kind of the journey of healthcare and hospital management. Somehow I took to it. But at the back of my mind was a little interest in going the entrepreneurial way and kind of doing something for healthcare, which was, to my mind, the correct way of taking healthcare forward, making healthcare more accessible, more affordable, more rational and evidence-based. So this then came up, one of my family members, basically my father suffered from Parkinson's and from dementia. And I realized that, even though I was well connected in the healthcare field, I still could not find good organized services for home healthcare. So this prompted me to keep playing with this idea, and 2017 I took the plunge and I said, okay, I'll go into it whole hog, learn the ropes, and then kind of open up a service which will bring benefit to a large number of people. Once the patient goes home from hospital, the patient becomes lost to follow up. Nobody knows what's happening. The care is not what it should be. So that prompted me to start Sunburst Healthcare, and somehow the journey has been very good. The response has been very good. Though we are only in Pune and Mumbai at the moment, we are still, looking at expanding across India. So that's where we are. So the thing is, as long as you have the energy and the will to do something new, it keeps you going, it keeps you feeling more enriched. And definitely, starting this journey in my late 50s, I'm 60 plus now, but it gives me good sense of fulfillment that I'm able to do something which is not available in the system. Right. So, for somebody even, who's very well placed with a good amount of resources, there has to be a service to access. You may be willing to spend the money, but there has to be an organized service available. चीज तो होनी चाहिए ना, बाजार में वो चीज नहीं है तो फिर आप खरीदोगे कैसे उसे? Very true. And because you started in 2017 and this was really a plunge, a kind of transformation from a job mindset to a business mindset. So the playgrounds are different. The job is different, where you get a safe environment,
And in business,
Correct.
you have to create the entire ecosystem right from the beginning. You must have
Correct.
also faced many challenges. Today, yes, in retrospect, you would say that you are kind of established, but you would have faced your initial struggles. Would you like to share that with the audience?
Definitely, there is nothing without struggle. I mean, even if you're doing a job, there are so many things to adjust to, so many things to, push your way through. So it's a job isn't all that easy. But, when you're in a business, you are creating something, it gives you a high, it gives you that feeling that, yes, what you make of it will be your doing.
Sure.
So that keeps you going, and you decide, you plan, and you execute. So it's another ball game altogether. So yes, I mean, even though people think that a job is the safest thing to do, I think it is the most unsafe thing to do. I mean, finally you are at the mercy of somebody else.
Correct.
So
No, I'm sure
yeah.
this sentence of yours, I really wish many around us should listen to and understand this fact that yes, job is probably more unsafe than business, because
Correct.
you're absolutely right.
It is care after the patient comes out of hospital. So basically what we do is anything which is healthcare, which can be done at home. So we are a home healthcare company, and we do not target elderly or any such category of people. Our target audience is everybody, you, me, anyone. Why should you go to a hospital for something which can easily come home to you? Just like you can get movie tickets at home, you can get train tickets at home, you can get flights booked at home, you can do what you want at home. So similarly, food is delivered at home. Many other things can be brought home. You don't need to walk out and get it. So e-commerce has shown the way. And so the thought is that, for very trivial things, people go to hospitals and clinics and wait in queues and contract infections and spend a lot of money. At a fraction of that cost, you can get good service, good healthcare at home. And especially what happens with people, say after a surgery or after a major illness, they simply stay on in hospital for days together because they know they won't get care at home. So that is not required, and that is very, very contrary to good practice. It's not the way that healthcare should be practiced in India, because we know that lakhs and lakhs of rupees just being in the hospital, getting some physiotherapy done, getting some injections done, some vague things done, which can easily be done at home at a fraction of the cost.
So are you also helping the COVID patients in these times?
Yes. In fact, what the pandemic did is make everybody aware that, I don't want to go to hospital. So what can I do at home? So one is, anybody who has some problem, may not be COVID. So it may not be COVID, but having some issue or the other and wants to avoid going to hospital. So that is one category of patients. The second category of patients is where they are having COVID. So for that, we do both kinds of service. We do video consultations. So we have actually curated like a full 14-15 day package for anybody who gets COVID. The moment he is detected positive, then he can approach us, and we take him through the entire illness and the day-to-day interventions that need to be done are carried out, and the patient is taken from day 1 to day 15 as safely as possible. So we've had very good demand for these kind of packages, and we've also had very good results. So our oldest patient was 93-year-old, and she came out of it very safe, very happy, very satisfied. So it is, again, if these patients were taken to hospital, stayed in hospital, the whole family is kind of, is put to a lot of inconvenience, and then there is a lot of cost involved. The same thing is done at home in a very safe and convenient environment, and we are able to deliver a very high quality of service, and patients have done well, and they have given us very good feedback about it. So I mean, we have our reviews are live on Google Business, and we have had a good run as such. So the pandemic, we have served both kinds of patients. Not having COVID, we have done, we have helped them out by not having to go to hospital, and those having COVID, we have also been able to provide very targeted services, and patients have done very well under our care. And of course, the third type of patients was, after the second wave, there was this phenomenon noticed of long COVID, of patients being in, mentally, mental health was affected, and a lot of things happened. So a major corporate approached us for post-COVID recovery and rehabilitation package. So what we did was that we again curated a package which covered nutrition of the patient, the physician's consultation, physiotherapy and rehabilitation, and also a psychologist's consultation. So with that, again, we were able to service around 500 patients across India. So we did somebody in Junjunu, somebody in Bareilly, somebody in Kozhikode, and so on. So it was a very good exercise. So yes, we have had a good role to play during the pandemic. So even in this wave, we are regularly doing teleconsultations. My doctors are also visiting on the, the patients' homes as well. So yeah, we have made a certain service available which was not in existence. One piece that we also did recently is our technology bit. So we did a web portal, and there are 3 applications. So there is a patient application, there is a caregiver's application, and there is a doctor's application, all linked to this web portal. So this has now, it is already live on Play Store, and now we've made it live on App Store also. And once all these groundwork is completed, then we are looking to expand across India. So
now the spirit with which we have started this activity is, during these COVID times, or otherwise also, people face a lot of struggles, and people who come from job into a business, they tend to go back getting disheartened, or during such adversities like the way we are facing today, they get hit.
Right.
They are somehow unable to manage the adversity. So what is your message to such fellow entrepreneurs, and so that they get to know about?
I'm sure these things will happen in life. As such, so far our journey has been very, very comfortable. So we started out with a small capital of 1 lakh rupees, and an initial loan of about some 5 lakh rupees, and thereafter the business has supported itself, and it has grown to whatever extent, So as far as we are and we've kept it asset light, and we have not exceeded our limits. So we have managed decently. But my message to fellow entrepreneurs is that yes, there will be ups and downs, but then ups and downs are a part of life, and I'm sure that at the end, when we look back, this journey is going to be an enriching one, and we will always be proud of it. So yes, the only thing that one needs to watch out for is that when you're starting out, keep the overheads low. Do not spend on things which can be avoided, because a startup is a place where you need to make every penny count. And right now the environment is such that it is very conducive for growth of startups. So I'm sure, when there are a lot of people who are there to help, to accelerate, to invest. So reaching out to each other, reaching out to the right people, and getting advice, getting help is very important, because nobody knows it all, and those people who have already had a successful journey will be able to hold hands and guide the newcomers, and that is the way to go. So that's my advice to the newcomers in the business. Yes, of course, there will be people who will, there will be out of, the biggest people in the world who have taken on the entrepreneurial journey. Yes, they have, had failures. So 5, 6 out of 10 businesses that they started actually failed, and it has never been smooth running for anybody. So it's fine. I mean, that is part of the game. So my concluding words are, from Emerson: if you know that one soul breathed easy because you lived, then you have succeeded.